Welcome back to Realistic Fitness, SSUPirates.com, brought to you by Adidas. As always, I'm strength and conditioning coach Angelo Gingerelli. This season, we've had a great time answering your questions that came to us through email or Facebook. This episode, we're going to take the whole episode to answer one viewer question I've gotten several times over the last couple months. People out there, generally, they like what we're doing on Realistic Fitness, but want to learn more about the topics. And a few people have asked me where they can learn more, and are there any good documentaries out there available on DVD or on cable they can watch, and take what we talk about for 3 or 4 minutes on the show and look at it over at the 2-hour period and really learn more in depth. So what we're going to do in this episode is go through my top 5 health, fitness, wellness, and nutrition documentaries ever made, all available on DVD, so you can watch them at home at your own leisure. And we're going to grade them out. We're going to assign them a pirate head score. We're going to go 1 through 5 pirate heads, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, and we're going to look at each movie from an entertainment perspective and an education perspective. Okay, the first one we're going to look at, almost everybody has seen. It's required viewing in a lot of PE programs. It's Super Size Me. It came out in 2004, and the filmmaker Morgan Spurlock ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days. From an education level, I'm going to give it 3 pirate heads because he basically researched something everybody knows. You know you shouldn't eat McDonald's 90 times in a row. From an entertainment standpoint, I'm going to give it a 4. He's really entertaining. I think he does a great job at being a good character and a good filmmaker. And if you haven't seen it before, you'll put it in. I guarantee you can't take your eyes off it. So educationally, it's a 3. Entertainment-wise, it's a 4 for a total score of 3.5 pirate heads. Next we're going to look at is from 2009. It's called Food Inc., and it's a really in-depth look at our agricultural industry and how our food goes from a farm to our supermarket and then onto our dinner plate and into our body. I think educationally, it's really good. It shows some stuff that we never think about while we're shopping in the supermarket. So I'm going to give it 4 pirate heads on an educational scale. Entertainment-wise, I'm going to go ahead and give it 3. I think it's fairly entertaining. However, if you're not in that world and don't know a whole lot about farming and how the food industry works, some of it could get a little dry. Overall, I'm going to give it 3.5 pirate heads. One thing about this film that I think might be a touch off base is they spend a lot of time talking about how powerful the food industry is, which it no doubt is, and that you cannot talk against them in the media. Well, this film is completely against our food industry, and I walked into Target and bought it with no issues whatsoever. So I don't know how accurate all that is, but overall, it's entertaining, it's educational, and you should definitely see Food Inc. at some point. It'll change the way you think about your food. Bigger, Stronger, Faster is about steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs and how they affect our bodies and how our society views them. Educationally, I'm going to give it a 4. It does a pretty good job of explaining to the layman how steroids work within the body and what they do at a hormonal level. But what it does a great job of is examining how we view performance-enhancing drugs as a society and how sometimes we're a little hypocritical on what we think is right and wrong when it comes to performance-enhancing drugs in the sport world. Entertainment-wise, I'm going to give it a 5. They do a great job of interviewing a lot of athletes that have been in trouble on both sides of performance-enhancing drug controversies, and really does a great job at showing both sides of the argument. So it's educationally 4 pirate heads, entertainment-wise 5 pirate heads, 4.5 pirate heads overall. Highly recommended. Bigger, Stronger, Faster. The newest movie we're going to look at in this episode of Realistic Fitness is Forks Over Knives. It came out in 2011. It was a pretty big hit at the Sundance Film Festival. And what the filmmakers hypothesized is that we spend way too much time with doctors and prescription medications and not enough time with our nutrition to cure degenerative diseases. I think educationally, I'm going to give it a 4 on the pirate head scale. It does a really good job of proposing some interesting questions that we don't think about at all as far as how much what we eat affects how healthy we are. Entertainment-wise, I'm going to give it a 3. It's a little dry, a little heavy on the medical side. If you're not a real science person, it might lose you a little bit, but overall, 3.5 pirate heads on the pirate head scale. Definitely something you should see. And the last one we're going to look at is the granddaddy of all health and wellness documentaries, A Pumping Iron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Educationally, I'm only going to give it 3 pirate heads. They really don't talk a whole lot about bodybuilding and how the sport works and the nutrition and the training side of it. There's not a whole lot there. Entertainment-wise, I'm going to give it a 5+. You can't take your eyes off this. This movie came out in 1977, and the cultural impact it had is phenomenal. It made Arnold Schwarzenegger from just a bodybuilding celebrity to a massive action hero and now a politician in America. It made Lou Ferrigno very famous. It allowed him to play the Hulk. And it made pretty much everybody in America want to be involved in weightlifting, fitness, and bodybuilding to some extent. So in a lot of ways, this movie is why there's a Gold's Gym in every strip mall in America, why there's a GNC, why the health and nutrition section of Barnes & Noble is the biggest section in the store. So this movie really changed America in the way we think about health and nutrition. And I think, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a bit of a controversial character, but I think as far as what this movie movie did for us as a society, it was definitely positive. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Realistic Fitness. Hopefully you enjoyed our DVD reviews and you take it upon yourself to go out and watch some of these, maybe think about some things you hadn't thought about, and maybe change your style of eating or working out or the way you live your life. Until next time, I'm Angelo Gingerelli.